How's it going, tiny little hot dog cuties? Today I want to be talking about why a whiteboard is one of the best tools, best study tools that money can buy. Whiteboards are especially good for science majors or anyone who's doing something technical. You don't have to be in college. You can be a high school student studying anatomy, studying math, studying physics, or you could even be in technical school studying car mechanics, cosmetology, and a whiteboard can still be a very efficient tool for your study. I'm one of those people who think you shouldn't spend thousands upon thousands or hundreds upon hundreds of dollars on test-taking classes or where it's ridiculously overpriced classes where they teach you how to study effectively. A whiteboard is an essential tool that can make you study that much better. And here are some reasons why. The number one reason is that whiteboards are super cheap. I got this one, and it's a pretty large one. Got this one at Costco for under $20, and it comes with five markers and an eraser tool right there. See that? Right there. And it also comes with mounting brackets, but if you're living in an apartment, you can actually use mounting tape to stick it to the wall. And I live in an apartment, so I use that. However, something about Costco is that they added some really dense and thick screws to the back, so I had to use a lot more mounting tape to reach the amount of thickness I needed to get in order to mount the whiteboard. So Costco, if you're hearing me, try to make it a little better so it can be a little bit more apartment friendly. But Costco, if you don't have a Costco membership, this is you can also get whiteboards like this for really cheap on other mass merchandisers. I saw a similar one at Walmart. It didn't include the markers. It didn't include the markers or the eraser, but it was around $17 or $18. So yeah, they're incredibly affordable. So practically anyone, if you're a student, you can go out to the store, buy it, and bring it home, and it's versatile enough for you to mount it at home or even at an apartment. So aside from the cost and the ease of mounting it onto a wall, why is the magnetic whiteboard? And also, guys, don't go super cheap and get a non-magnetic whiteboard. Get the magnetic whiteboard. You're gonna have a lot more features there that you're not gonna get with just a regular whiteboard without magnetic properties. So why? Why is a magnetic whiteboard so effective? The number one reason for me to give you guys is the fact that you're getting up to study. You're not sitting in your desk. You're not getting distracted by phone calls or messages from your computer. You're actually standing up to study with the whiteboard. And you may be thinking, how is standing up actually going to make me that much better at studying? Well, the thing is, when you're sitting down, you're sitting in a very sedentary kind of spot. You're not at a high energy level. A lot of times when I'm sitting down and I'm studying, I get super tired, and I don't want to really look at the computer or look at my books. I just want to droop my head over and over again so that I feel more and more tired over time, and then I just call it a night, like I did last night, to be honest with you guys. So when you have a whiteboard, you're standing up and you're actively participating in your studying. When you're sitting down, all you're doing is using your eyes, nothing else. That's all you're doing. And your eyes start getting heavy and everything else. When you're standing up and writing on the whiteboard and etching out equations or etching out diagrams or etching out pathways if you're in medical school or taking a biochemistry course, when you're actively participating in your studying, you retain it better, you use your kinetic memory along with it. This is why a lot of athletes in high school, they study while they're running on the treadmill, they study while they're doing the elliptical. It's because they are able to better retain whatever it is that they're learning when they're actively doing something. So this is a great way to incorporate physical kinetic memory into what you have to memorize in your subject. So it's a great way to incorporate two different styles of learning into one. which makes you learn that much better. I mean, this is why there have been multiple studies when you listen to calm music or listen to music that you like and study at the same time, you're better able to retain that information because you make associations between two different things. The more associations you can make, the better it is to retain the material that we're trying to learn. And to be honest, guys, who likes writing on a piece of paper over and over again equations? Like, writing is kind of boring. Just sitting down and writing, it gets tedious over time. But on a whiteboard, it's actually kind of fun. Whiteboards are also a great way to go back and edit whatever mechanism, whatever reaction, whatever thing that you're doing, go back and edit out things you made mistakes on. So if you're doing an equation, you realize earlier back you made a mistake, you can go back, use the eraser, and then fill in the right part. It's a great way to, instead of having to cross stuff out on your paper, you can just erase and then put in the right amount to see where you got wrong. You can also color code everything, like in this organic chemistry reaction, this resonance structure. I color coded the atoms and I color coded the carbon chains, and then I also color coded the positive and negative charges on the entire resonance structure. And the reason why that is so good for studying is because it allows you to visualize everything. It allows you to visualize and retain information that much better. If everything is monotone and one color, it's kind of hard to retain all of that. You need things that pop out at you so that you're better able to remember. And I know you can get different colored pencils and do it on paper, but like I said, when you're actively involved and you're actually putting your entire body into the motions of writing on that whiteboard, you're adding another element to helping you memorize things. And lastly, guys, the reason why I recommended a magnetic whiteboard out of everything else is because you can get magnetic erasers that can attach to your whiteboard very easily and smoothly glide along the whiteboard. You never have to take that eraser off that whiteboard ever again. It'll just be stuck on it and it'll smoothly glide and erase whenever you need it. Also, the fact that you can get magnetic clips and attach to your whiteboard. So if you have an assignment, if you have a bunch of worksheets that you have to do problems on, you can attach it to the magnetic whiteboard and then read it while working on the whiteboard on those problems. And yeah, so there's another reason why magnetic whiteboards are totally awesome. If your teacher gives you a worksheet to do and only gives you a limited amount of space for you to write your answer, and you don't want to keep erasing over and over again on that worksheet, you can work out the problem on the whiteboard until you get the right answer and then put the right answer on the worksheet so it doesn't look like a hot mess on your worksheet. So there you have it, guys. These are some of the reasons why a whiteboard is a great essential study tool to make your studying that much better and to pull A's, maybe pull B's if you're struggling in a class. And it might make it possible for you to do so. The more active learning we participate in, the better we are at retaining that whatever we are that is that we're trying to learn. And I hope this video actually does convince you to go out there and buy a whiteboard. It's incredibly cheap and it will make things so much better when it comes to your classes. I want every single one of you to do well, whether it is you are in technical school, in high school, or you're pre-med and trying to get into medical school like I tried to do many years ago. I wish I had one of these years ago, because there was a lot of classes I struggled on and I had to study extra hard on because it was really hard for me to learn things, especially organic chemistry. This whiteboard itself, if you're in organic chemistry, you should absolutely get it. Or if you're in calculus, that would help quite a lot in that class as well. So yeah, it's such a great and essential, it should be an essential study tool. I love you guys. Be sure to watch me on Twitch if you're interested in sharing the passion of gaming, or even having a live conversation with me if you're not interested in gaming. I also have a mini unedited raw series called Video Biscuits on IGTV. I have other social media platforms that I am an active part of. Links in the description down below. I love you guys. This has been, and I'll see you on the next one.